Shalom, giving all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations unto the full tabernacle of David that are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, the Most High, he's sending a message out. You proud hyenas out there, you women exuding this, prideful, shameless behavior. Well, now, the Most High, he got you on his radar and he's starting to visit some of you. All right. Brothers, been warning for years about this woman. We're talking about Eve, the B-dub. All right. These women are, they're very unapologetic. They're very shameless, proud, arrogant, and it's only for so long, you can wallow in this type of behavior. The scriptures say she that liveth from pleasure is dead while she lives. And now she's getting visited. All right. They wonder why the world sees them in a certain type of light. Well, now the Most High, he's been seeing you the whole time. And look at how he's beginning to visit you proud, haughty ass B-dubs out there. So you hyenas are getting visited, man. You might want to humble down. So I'm going to play this little clip right here. This is on IG. And then I'm going to play the news segment where it started to become a pattern where the Most High is basically judging these proud hyenas that are getting caught, exuding their shameless behavior, twerking, bouncing their ass up and down, right? Proud as hell. Well, they're twerking right to their deaths. So let's dive into it, and then I'm gonna get a few scriptures. I'm not gonna make this a long drawn out video, but the Most High is sending that message, all right, to you proud women out there, man. Arise ye and depart, man. Hey, take heed, you careless women. All right, you women that are at ease. Look at this. So let me play it.
A popular hairstylist from Chicago drowned after falling from a yacht in Lake Michigan this weekend. Zari Walls is known for being best friends with Kanika Jenkins. Zari was enjoying.
Yeah, that chick, she heard the whole thing around her situation went viral because her and some teens, they decided to throw like some type of hotel party or something like that. And she came up in there and they had a bunch of liquor and drugs or whatever they was doing. And this chick, she went wandering around in the hallways and she ended up in a damn freezer. They found her dead in that damn freezer. The people were trying to figure out, did something happen to her? Was it foul play? Did somebody follow her around and, kill her and put her in the freezer? Who knew? But she got judged, and I remember when that went down, man. All right, but so this is one of her friends who ended up just getting visited. All right, see, and that's why let me grab this. You never know your time. You could be in the midst of partying it up, getting your twerk on or whatever it is you think you're doing. And then that death cloud comes over you. And you didn't anticipate it. It's Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. In the NLT, it says, people can never predict when hard times might come. Like fish in a net or birds in a trap, people are caught by sudden tragedy. You go to the AMP. It says, for man also does not know his time of death. Like fish caught in a treacherous net and birds caught in a snare. So the sons of men are ensnared in an evil time when a dark cloud suddenly falls on them. Yeah, man, that dark cloud of death. When it's finally your day, your moment, That's when it comes over you and you don't necessarily see it. All right, especially you got your nose up and you twerking and you feeling good, you in pleasure. Because that's most of these women. They're so into this world and the pleasures of it that they're blinded by what's really going on in the world. We on the brink of war, economic downturn, societal collapse, homelessness is at an all-time high. And these women still want to be out there living that life, just completely, just ignoring what's going on around them. So the Lord, He's taking matters into His own hands. All right, and these women, they're not good anyway. All right, none of them are any good. Besides the elect women, of course, but outside of that, these women, this is what they got to offer to the world. All right. So anyway, let me finish this video out. So you see, this is footage of them on the edge of this yacht twerking without a care in the world, man. Careless.
Joined Black Yacht Weekend at Navy Pier when she fell off the yacht into choppy waters and no one could save her. Witnesses report that 2 people jumped into Lake Michigan to try to save her, but neither one was able to bring her back on board. The weather report for Lake Michigan indicated extremely strong winds, and none of the women were wearing life vests as they danced close to the edge of the yacht. Zari Walls is said to be the best friend of Kanika Jenkins, the 19-year-old who was found dead inside of a latched freezer at the Crown Plaza Hotel in 2017. After Kanika passed, Zari made a tribute to her friend, writing, "Girl, I miss you so much. You broke my heart forever. Rest in peace, Zari."
Little did she know that it was her turn to come. You know what I mean? Now it was your time to go. And you could see she was real proud. You look at her, come on, typical 304, man. Shameless, uncovered, not modest, tattoos all over her body, fake hair. Come on, man. What did they think would be her end? So there it is, man. And let me grab this in the Ecclesiastes 8. And, our women, when it says, rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, you careless daughters, that's getting into how complacent our women are. They're very complacent. They feel very comfortable in their skin, even though they're a walking curse. Nothing to be proud about. But like it says in 2 Timothy, in the last days, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, and that's the men and the women. All right, so this is Ecclesiastes 8 and 5. It says, whoever keeps and observes, this is in the AMP, whoever keeps and observes a royal command will experience neither trouble nor misery, for a wise heart will know the proper time and appropriate procedure. For there is a proper time and appropriate procedure for every delight, though mankind's misery and trouble lies heavily upon him. All right, who rebels against the king. Let me see what it say in the NLT. It says, verse 5, it says, those who obey him will not be punished. These women, they don't obey the Most High. They don't even respect order. All right, they're very masculine. They're defiant. Who could tell them anything? If she'll twerk out in public, being indecent, not modest, you can't tell her nothing. Those who are wise will find a time and a way to do what is right. But there is a time and a way for everything, even when a person is in trouble. And the scriptures say, redeem the time because the days are evil, and we ain't got that much time. All right. Now, yeah, there's certain things that do need to be fulfilled prophetically, but things are going to start moving quickly. I mean, the days are speeding up. He is shortening the days because it seems like each week go by super fast. And as that's going on, a lot of judgment is occurring. All right, a lot of death, a lot of bodies. All right, so knowing that time, man, you should want to try to do right. All right, nobody's escaping judgment, and that's basically what's taking place. Judgment. All right, he's known by the judgments that he executes. Okay, so yeah, she's out of there. Okay, this is what happens. You know, when you living in pleasure and you're super proud, like the B Dub. They erected her statues, and she's standing in that posture of a very proud, arrogant, bold woman. So yeah. So let's go to the other segment, and you're gonna read about two more other instances where these women are in their careless behavior, doing all that twerking and dancing. All right, and they're getting visited. They're getting met with death. So let's look at this.
Thank you and welcome to The Factor Uncensored for joining us tonight. First up, two death investigations underway. The first in Atlanta. According to USACrime.com, a woman named Maya died during a night out with friends. Now, officials report it is not available just yet, but the website says the victim was twerking in front of a vehicle her friends were inside of. Someone behind the vehicle or the wheel then drove over her, killing her, dragging her body under the vehicle and leaving her body behind in the middle of the road. And in Missouri, another case, an 18-year-old named Nyla Simmons also killed. Investigators say Simmons was dancing on top of an SUV when she fell off of the vehicle, followed by a fire truck running over her and killing her just seconds later. People have been talking about both of those reports on social media, along with this video. It was reportedly filmed in a Lululemon store, featuring alleged strippers shaking and twerking in the store. This has been heavily criticized. Lululemon's CEO has previously said the brand isn't for certain customers, which many have assumed that was code for excluding black people. Do some people struggle with a craving for public attention to the point it puts their lives at risk, or even their digital footprint at risk, and, of course, in some cases, self-respect? Joining us to talk about it, therapist Dr. Nick Haughty. And fact.
So this became, like a trend. These women going around twerking everywhere and going viral, and they think that this is something to be respected. You're not getting no respect, and you wonder why men are getting far away from you. All right, the whole world sees you in this regard, and you're not helping your situation at all. So now the Most High, he's intervening, and he's letting you know what he thinks and what he feels about that. You shameless women, man. All right, so let me grab this real quick. There's a couple scriptures, actually, because the Most High, he does not like shameless behavior, and he doesn't, because it goes back to pride. At the end of the day, the Lord hates a proud look. Proverbs 6:16, it says, "These 6 things doeth the Lord hate, yet 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look." And all them women that do that in public with no shame, they're super proud. Very proud, man. And they don't have any home training. They don't have any respect and no etiquette. That'd be all over. They'll like, I saw one where they was in a damn gas station, and one of them tried to, twerk on a dude, and the dude had to back up. She was basically harassing dude. So they think this behavior is and they don't realize that it's a straight up disgrace for the image of these women. So When men look at you and when these other nations look at you, this is what they seeing. You try to go overseas like the men are, and the men they're not responding to you. They don't respect you. You know, maybe them Saudi princes and their relatives, they'll probably fly you out and crap on you, and give you a check or whatever, take you shopping, and then send you back to Babylon. But as far as taking you serious, being in a long-term relationship, marrying you and stuff like that, hell no. So the Most High, he's intervening, man. All right, a proud look, a lying tongue, a hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devise wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speak lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. The first point is related to this situation. The Lord visited them when he saw how proud they really were. You better know, they're not raised with men in the house. And if they do have a man in the house, he's a simp, he's a feminine, doesn't have a backbone, probably, submits to the mother. But for the most part, a lot of them, there's no father at home. So they learn from their parent, their only parent, and they emulate that behavior. All right. So you got to watch what you do around these children. You got to watch what they're consuming, and not let the streets raise your child. Because the scriptures say a child left to himself will be willful. And they learn this behavior being idle at home, and they're watching music videos. Who are they seeing on TV? Sexy Red everywhere. Cardi B, Young Miami, all these little young thought rappers. So they learn it all from, man. And they just in them streets. And she doesn't know how to stay at home. The scriptures talk about, was that Titus? That the older woman teach the younger woman to love her husband and to be keepers at home and, to guide the house. They ain't doing that. That's not what they learning. Because we in Babylon. This is the the mother of harlots, abominations of the earth. All right. The attitude of Babylon is, hey, I'm a queen, which we know queen, when you actually look it up, means a prostitute. All right. So this is Titus 2 and verse 3. It says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. And, being ratchet and twerking, there's nothing holy about that. Not false accusers, not giving too much wine. Some of these women, they be liquored up and they get real loose. All right. Teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands. And they ain't got no husbands. They got maybe baby daddies, but no, they don't have any husbands. It says to love their children, to be discreet. And they definitely not discreet. And it means in the Greek, sophron, and it means G4982 and that of G5424, safe sounding in mind, i.e. self-controlled, moderate as to opinion or passion. All right, discreet, sober, temperate. So self-control, these women don't have that, which is why they'll exhibit this, shameless, lewd behavior. All right, you want to, you could twerk for your husband at home. All right, but being out there in the public's eye, you have chicks that'll go to the cemetery and twerk over grave tombs and shit in the grave site. These women got demons on them. But if they had, a elderly woman to teach them, they wouldn't be in this situation. They wouldn't be out there making fools of themselves. All right. And they wouldn't end up in these, which they're definitely not accidents, because the Most High doesn't do accidents. All right. Man's goings are of the Lord, so he made sure they was at the edge of that damn boat when the old girl went right over into that water, and she couldn't swim for shit, didn't have on a life jacket, didn't have on no equipment that could have actually saved her. Going back to being proud. All right. Proud, man. It says to be discreet, chaste, meaning, pure. These women ain't pure. They were ran through. I'm pretty sure a girl was ran through. All these chicks, even when they're at that age, they late teens, early 20s, they already ran through. So they're not chaste. Keepers at home, you showing you seeing that none of these chicks that these things happened to, none of them was at home when this happened. They was all out and about. None of them were at home. All right, she wouldn't have fell off of a yacht if she was at home. Oh, them girls, they wouldn't have fell off of a moving car and hit and dragged by another vehicle if they were at home. See? And the mothers ought to be ashamed, That's your bad for bad parenting. It says obedient to their own husbands, and a lot of them don't have husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. So this advice from the aged women can save a lot of these women, but these young women, these young broads, they don't have any respect. Okay, feminism literally did a number on our women. All right, and this is the final result of that. And now, hey, they're getting judged. They're getting visited. All right. Let me get this in Proverbs. This is Proverbs 18 and 12. And it says, before destruction, the heart of man is haughty. And, you read about our women, they walk forth with stretched forth necks, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and go mimicking as they go with the twinkling of their feet. That's dealing with that haughty attitude from the so-called black woman. So know what this proverb is saying. When you're gonna be like that, and you're not gonna see your death coming. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. It's better for you to be humble. All right, to be modest, and not trying to bring all that attention to yourself. A lot of these women, they're screaming for attention, and they think they have to be a slut in public to garnish that attention, because they're under that influence, man. The rap music, the 304 thought culture, that nightlife, getting tatted up, showing off your body. And that's out. The Most High is he's coming down with judgment. And that's why the scriptures say, therefore, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men and women. This is what happens when you don't fear him. He is to be greatly feared. Let's go from there to what's the other one? I think it might be Proverbs 16. Yeah, let me go to Proverbs. I think it's around 16th chapter. Proverbs 16:5. Yeah, there's a good one. It says, everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. These women, though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Let's go down. Proverbs 16:18. And it says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. And that right there. That's the that's the main one right there, man. It fits this entire thing perfectly. You know, all these little young broads, super proud. You know, twerking. That's shameless, proud behavior. Doing it on top of a yacht, on top of a car. You doing it on a moving vehicle. You really trying to tempt the Most High. You know, and the scriptures say that do not tempt the Most High, man. And that's what all these broads is doing when they doing stuff like that. You try that stunt if you want to. Yeah, this Deuteronomy 6:16. It says, you shall not tempt the Lord your power as you tempted him in Massah. You know, basically don't try him. All right. He's not the one to be tried. Do not try Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's what you women do. All right. When you acting like this, when you bulking up against your husbands, you know, if you have a husband and you being disobedient to him, you're really tempting the Lord, because he's your head and you're supposed to submit to him. But do you see a woman like this being obedient, you know, to her husband? Hell no. So they're getting met with judgment, and rightfully so. Whoever perish being innocent, or will with a righteous cut off. So, hey, call Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, yo. Straight like that. Judged. So, hey, with that, I'm going to give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. To the next one, Shalom.